You know, it wouldn't be a Jewish psychedelic panel without having something strange happen at the end. So you might not be able to see my video, but I am here and want to welcome back after a fantastic conversation with Rabbi Arthur Green that you can see on our YouTube about his original foray into Jewish psychedelics, where he wrote in 1968 about his experience with LSD and Kabbalah. Rabbi Green is here to give us the final bracha, the Birkat Siyum of our entire summit. Rabbi Green, thank you for being here, and your presence, your work, and your words today will and have been, they have been and will be a blessing for this movement as it continues to move on from strength to strength.
First, shalom, shalom. My great thanks to you, Zach, for inviting me. And indeed, I am here to offer blessing. I am in the role of what the Zohar, the Holy Zohar, in its most esoteric section, the Idra, calls the role of Atika. My dear friend Melilla Heldner has just written a wonderful book about it. Atika is there as an ancient force that does nothing other than offer blessing, than radiate light and offer blessing to Ze'era Nukva, to the younger male and female who are really ruling the world, who are really creating, who are really carrying the world forward. I, for some reason, certainly undeserved, am a survivor of the last round of serious experimentation with psychedelics that took place in the mid and late 1960s. I was part of it, and and it was transformative for my life. I wrote about it, and many of you have read that. There's been a 50-year gap between those years, those experiments, and what you folks are undertaking today. We all know on a superficial level what caused that 50-year gap. There was a tremendous scare campaign, as Ethan Nadelman just said, begun in the Nixon campaign, carried forward, trying to frighten people away from psychedelics, how dangerous they were. These were, quote, gateway drugs into all kinds of terrible things. Though I will confess that I am indeed something of a psychedelic exceptionalist. I believe psychedelics are very different than methamphetamines and heroin and all kinds of other things, and I think we should make a distinction between them. Nevertheless, they were all lumped together, and we were frightened away. 2 generations were frightened away from them. But I think there was the war on drugs has been terrible in terms of whom it's targeted and how it's targeted. No question about that. But I think there's something else that has to be said. In our generation, our culture was not sufficiently mature to integrate the tremendous discovery of psychedelics and their potential. Psychedelics happened in the middle of the 1960s, when we were all very much engaged in a desperate rebellion against the straitjacket of the conventionalism of the 1950s, the suburban culture, the superficiality, the conformity, the sort of cold handshake culture in which we were raised. And we went wild. In some ways, we went wild. And psychedelics were certainly a part of that. And we were not able to contain them. We didn't have the vessels to contain the tremendous opening that psychedelics allowed for us. And while some of us were serious as psychedelic adventurers, many people were using them in a wild way, using them sometimes in a dangerous way. And we were not able to sustain it. I think had we been more mature, we would have been able to stand up to the war on drugs and carry forward with psychedelics. We were not ready. Over the course of these 50 years, both the medical community and the spiritual community have learned a great deal. On the biomedical side, we know much more about the chemistry of consciousness. We understand that things that happen in the brain have everything to do with states of mind and changes in consciousness and how we open ourselves to new experiences. On the spiritual side, the acceptance and integration of techniques of meditation, yoga, and other kinds of practices in our society have paved the way for us to be ready to come back to psychedelics and to treat them in a way that will integrate them and sustain their influence over a long period of time and over broader bodies of human beings and communities. So I think as I see the new attempt, the new round 50 years later of what's happening in the psychedelic world, I'm very happy, very pleased to see that we're now approaching it in a way that befits the great sacred possibility of this gift that has been given to us by God, by nature, by the forces that be, however you want to say it. This is a gift for opening the mind. This is a gift indeed for changing society for the better, but has to be received that way, has to be integrated that way. And I hope we're now responsible. I hope we're now ready to do it in a responsible and loving and caring kind of way. Caring for its societal implications, caring for its implications for the consciousness of human beings, for the future of religion, for all the wonderful therapeutic uses that are being made of it. The potential is there. We have to remember to do it with responsibility, but also to enjoy it, also to have fun. 50 years ago, the writer Alan Watts characterized psychedelic consciousness as the joyous cosmology. The Baal Shem Tov would have very much agreed. Ivdu et Hashem b'simcha. Yes, serve with it. Use it as a vehicle of service, but do so with joy. Blessings to you all. Blessings to your venture. Peace.
Thank you, Rabbi Art, for everything. I want to thank everyone who has been part of the day, both days. I want to personally thank Natalie Ginsburg and Madison Margolin, just two amazing partners, two amazing guides, teachers of mine who have brought me so much. And I want to thank all of you who have been giving all of your love and heart and comment and thought in the chats for these past 2 days. This has been just a truly amazing blessing, one blessing after another. So thank you for being here for the first Jewish Psychedelic Summit. But it's not over. We have meetups that are happening right after this. So make sure that you plug into something that is really exciting to you. And we also there is a Clubhouse after party also, so you can find more information about that on the website and how to log in. And we will see you very soon again, either here or next year in Mexico or next year in Jerusalem or both. We're everywhere all at the same time. Thank you, thank you, thank you.